I can feel the weight of the pendulum tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The heaviness of time drawing me down towards nothingness. Tick tock, tick tock. I feel the connection to my heaviness in the heart. Tiana no kush e natataita. Kituish ariana naki. Kuru kuru ia kariana na e ju kurush e dikariano kush e dakariana na kata. Kirana na kita sasasia karana na yeshia katashia kush. Kareana kitukushia sasasahia karana na nesia ia uika. Saish. Katatatashi katatu shoo 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 shoo. I have the connection with the ancient, feels like ancient. I can't really figure out. There's some kind of wanting to tease, some kind of wanting to teach. You don't really know where you have him. You don't know where he is. He's there, he's here, he's everywhere. He's making you old, he's making you young. He is the master of time. Tick tock, let's jump in with this. Tick and tock and tick and tock. Talk your tick. In the sea of time, you may drown or you may flow. In the sea of time, there is no source of youth. There is only the source of you. Stardust from the sky, no, in the darkness. Time is your friend and time will fool you. Cannot trust time as it is its own. You can only flow with time.
Becoming you is becoming time, is a phrase that my guides have told me for years, since the very beginning actually. Becoming you is becoming time. We create in time, with time, on time. Because then we know timing. When we know ourselves, we know timing. We know when to do something and when not to do something. As long as we're not who we are, we rely on external time and timings. And we grow with time. I have been shown snails with their little house on top. That they are time. We watch them and they walk. They move very slowly, but they build while they walk. They build their home while they grow. because the house grows with them. So they create all the time with time, on time. And my guides also told me that Father Time is doomed soon. I don't know in which sense. Oh, and the waves. The ocean is also time and tides.
Why is time doomed?
Let us see. If we all become who we are, does time exist then? And we become time? If we don't rely on external timing, do we then respect time as Father Time? Do we need him? If time is an illusion and everything happens at the same time, we're both ancient and future and present now. Time is a concept of many dimensions.
Mm.
I keep seeing these streams of time that are actually coming together in one from the beginning. I keep seeing the strings spiraling somehow, and it's like collapsing and in the same time coming together as one. We know that time is an illusion, but we're not yet embodying that. We're not yet living there. Like, we know the concepts, but we're getting closer and closer to actually having that land. It's what I feel. Because for the mind, it's too much to be able to get, to understand. Like how we're ancient and young, and how all the past lives are actually now in the present, and like parallel dimensions and all of that. Being just now, all of it. um, so it's just something probably here that has to do with getting closer, being able to feel and live out of the mind and of the structured time as we know it.
Yeah, or
I don't know how. Yeah.
or lose the concept of past and future. Because if you are in the present moment with the feeling of the present moment, there are no stories, there are no patterns. And that is what our mind cannot comprehend. Because as you spoke, Catherine, about, I had the same feeling, Anka, that I literally saw my head explode with the concept of, speaking of you having a headache today, yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of the concept that Father Time will die if we become us. And this is, so when we create from this moment, and I mean create our feelings of, and we choose the feeling, what we feel right now is the pattern of yesterday and what we bring in till tomorrow. But if we want to change the future, this is common knowledge. If you want to change the future, you change now. So it is not just the death of time. It is also the death of the old world.
Yeah. The structured, the boxes, the linear, you have to do it like this to get from point A to B. You have to follow this
Time.
arrow. I have like a glimpse of memory. I don't know where I read it or saw it. Something along the lines of when time was not existent in the way that we know it today, like the calendar and the hour and all of that. Like in ancient times, people would just live by nature. Like when the
Cycles.
specific flock of birds come in, then we do that. When the specific flowers are in the tree, then we do that. When, all of the, which is the organic way of living. And what I've noticed, for example, personally, maybe the past few years, my body started to attune more and more to this organic time with the sun going up and down, where, for example, in the past, I was a night owl and I was living in reverse all the time. Now, naturally, my body senses when the sun goes down, and it's like I need to retract a bit. I'm mellower. I cannot be as alert. Um, it's a natural. I was just joking with my husband, like every time we're out in nature, sometimes somehow we're back by the sunset. Somehow, naturally, we don't speak about it, but there's something that is aligning with the natural. We know that sun and gazing at the sunrise and gazing at the sunset and receiving the light, which is not just light, it's a lot of codes and frequencies there, aligns us more and more and more, yeah, with the natural way of living. I don't know how that will look like in a world that is how it is, but we can intuit and feel something along these lines, that we're probably not going to need as much clocks. And also I remember with nostalgia, and I love that memory of when we didn't have internet, we didn't have cell phones, we were writing letters, we were like meeting each other in the park at sundown on the specific bench every Sunday, or stuff like that, where like time was more indulgent, life was slower but richer. And now we have to like unlearn so that we can live slower and richer. We're people cannot like even think or imagine or are able anymore to slow down. It's something we need to remember and practice. That's like sometimes shocking when I think about it. Like we need to retrain ourselves and make it okay to slow down, to like take time to whatever, I don't know, watch a sunset, or not be on the phone, or not answer that call or that email like instantly. Give yourself time for family, for cooking, for bathing, for whatever thing that makes life, and it makes it rich and felt and fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like for me, that is kind of weird and backwards to always have to like speed up and do it now and answer now and and everybody's saying I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Yeah, but it's like slow down,
Take
to savor
you
more.
take time.
Yeah, you take, you make, you find it somehow in the present moment. Because when you are, what I also noticed with when you live in the present moment more, it feels like there's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Spending a day in nature, it feels like a week sometimes because it's such like savoring each little moment.
That,
That's my personal.
I love that. And the two things that I'd like to share. One is that I found my notes from where I wrote when I wrote it down, what my guides said about Father Time, and it speaks exactly. It just echoes what you've just shared, Anka. And it says that because I ask here, I ask my time friend, uh, what is your opinion and experience with the term Father Time? And my time friend says that concept of time is conception of time and perception of time. There is no father nor mother, but just time. And that is an illusion too. The perception is yours. However, to create with time, you must lean into its rhythm. So, what is your time and rhythm? And how do they fit with the perception of time in general? Father Time is doomed soon, but the rhythm will always be. So be it, the rhythm. You see, it just reflects everything you just shared, Anka. I really, really like that.
Yeah, one of the first things that I usually talk about or, invite people, women especially, because I work most with the women, is what is your rhythm? Take a moment or take a few days or take a week to just pay attention and be present and notice what is your actual rhythm, not the rhythm that is imposed by the external, not the rhythm that you were made to believe is the right rhythm, but what is your actual rhythm? How do you function best? And especially as a woman with our cyclical nature in our
Yep.
bodies and hormones and everything. Like I was entrapped in this conception of time that was making me feel so behind and lazy and slow and not good enough all the time just because I don't function as other people and I don't do well with that like 6 a.m. do that by 10 a.m. I'm already whatever, then I do that, then I do that, then I do that, and like all that like efficient and the way that mostly it's done
Yep.
today. And I felt like I almost felt ashamed and wanted to hide. Like I prefer slow mornings. I sleep longer. I take time for myself in the morning to wake up, to get in the rhythm, to have my water, to whatever. And then I'm productive and I can sit and work and do stuff for about 4 or 5 hours. And then in the evening again, I'm not able to do things again. Most things, like with the brain, and maybe I lean more into cooking or just watching a movie or doing something around the house or taking a walk or stuff like that. That's my rhythm. And there are days when I listen into my body's rhythm and I don't do anything. I just sit around. I don't push it. But to learn how to live like that, it's challenging. It takes courage. It's kind of backwards from what we see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like, it is, you mentioned nature, Anka, and
Yeah.
how when we didn't have the phones, we would be more connected and we would meet out in the dark at the football stadium
Bench and
or
yeah.
whatever, where everybody else would hang around. And we have kind of lost that, yes, but we have also gained access to so much wisdom, so much
Yeah.
connection with the new
For sure.
technologies.
Yeah.
So I believe that it is to find the balance in that and to use this technology for its greater good. As in, instead of being on a, I don't know, social media channel, Facebook,
Yeah.
Insta, TikTok, whatever, for an hour, then maybe use it with your intuition and just open it and see what are the 5 first posts for me, and what is it that the universe is trying to tell me through that media, and then shut it off, think about that, and maybe take action for it, because
Yeah.
the only reason I know you and Catherine is because of the new technology.
Yeah.
The
And
only
we're using the
reason,
technology to create this.
exactly, and the new world is about getting the best of both worlds, getting the best of what the universe is offering, because the universe has created this for us, not for it to exploit us, as the story also is for some people, and the truth are for many people, because they have given themselves away. But if you use it mindfully, if you use it consciously, my gosh, there is so much wisdom in that. And to be honest, the good old days, how good were they?
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up in a small village, and there were people in my age, the clique. Well, I was an outcast, and I literally thought that this is how the world is. I'm an outcast, and I have a few good friends, and we are, to be honest, only together because we are all outcasts. I have only chosen, I am totally honest here. We were a clique of 6 people, and I chose the 2 of them. The rest was kind of the other outcasts. So the world was very small for me. Then I went to what we call, yeah, what would that be? After school, Catherine, help me.
Yeah, it's a Danish
Boarding
school,
school.
which is after you completed
Yeah,
the
it's,
normal school, your first 9 or 10 years of school. Then they're kind of boarding schools with a theme.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a boarding school, but it's not the classic boarding school. It's a big community.
Yeah.
And then I realized, my gosh, the world is amazing. There's so many other people, there's so many other ways of living. And I realized, coming back from that, I had changed, because my world was bigger, but my best friend's world wasn't bigger. She was still in the same circles. So it's like I couldn't exist in that village anymore. I couldn't. I needed to expand. And that was very lonely for me, because I didn't, my best friend is gone. I need to start all over. So for me, okay, I'm in my head now. I can feel it. I'm going into my body again. But it's just the best of both worlds we have access right now.
Yeah. I guess it's about coming back to the beginning of our talk today, of our transmission today, becoming aware of who we are, being who we are, and attuning to our own rhythm. Of course, mindfully, presently, creatively, as conscious beings that use whatever tools are at hand, while knowing ourselves and our own rhythm. for some people, it may be that they want to spend an hour on Facebook or whatever, and that nourishes them. For other people, it may be they want to spend only 10 minutes and that it's enough. Whatever way, but the most important is like coming back into being how I truly am, knowing my own rhythm, functioning from that space instead of forced arrows, boxes,
Yep.
stuff. Of course, I totally agree that I'm grateful for the internet. I'm grateful for and I'm amazed and in awe how I connect with people I would never be able to connect with from like Africa and Australia and like what? That's such an amazing gift. Um, it's just like yeah, discerning and being present and making the best of everything that is at hand.
And also there is an aspect of overflow and abundance when we talk about time or lack.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
time,
Yes.
money, and love are all energies that we can feel abundant or lacking, right? So, so what happens when we are present with ourselves, when we know our own rhythm and respect that and work with that, I believe that then we generate an overflow of energy that allow us to actually combine our rhythm with the external world, um, to find out how to, how to get the best out of me by honoring my true rhythm and who I am and what I want and all that, with the actual 3D calendars and so on schedules. I mean, if just to create this podcast and this episode, we have found out, okay, what time of day is actually the best for the three of us to meet. What time of the day suits the three of us the best to create the most optimal conditions and container, the structure for this podcast to land inside from where it can then spread out, right? So we're using the time perception of our world, but honoring our own rhythms. And I think that's a lesson for everybody to, or
Mm.
inspiration at least for everybody to tune into. So what I see again is this snail walking slowly, and yeah, and I'm reminded of a session I channeled years ago, and it was about speed, because we look at the snail, which is like slow speed, and then there was a very fast speed, like rocket speed, um, and then there's but maybe you are the snail speed, maybe you're more into the rocket speed, right? The the trick here is to find your balance speed, and that is when your rhythm goes hand in hand with the external world, well, time perception. When you can, when you can sort of get that aligned, that's when you that's when you keep your balance, because then you're not forced into some neither slow move or fast move, but it's just right. That's balance speed, according to my guides.
And there's also like what keeps coming up. taste of empowerment in all of this. Also health and well-being.
A lot.
But just by, I'm reminded now of a time when, for example, I would answer any message, any email at at any hour of the day. If someone wrote me like at 11 p.m., I would be there with that FOMO, with that fear, with that anxiety that I need to answer now. If I would see an email come in, it didn't matter that I was in the middle of something. I would just go and answer that email. I would just go and answer that comment. I would just always be actually giving my power away to the external. It can be time, it can be other people, it can be, it's a fine thing here. But then the empowerment piece is when I know my rhythm, I decide my timing, I come into harmony with my own time, and how you said it, it blends with the external world. Um, and this creates spaciousness, inner peace, health, a lot of stuff, because I'm not giving into rushing myself just because everything around me is rushing, or people are rushing me, or slowing down just because, it's, I think it's complementary to what you said. I felt it's just like this is also about empowering ourselves into not living at the speed that is imposed on us.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing a kid, because a child is so in tune with her own rhythm, and is constantly pressed of the adults to do something that is not natural for the child's rhythm and for the body, because a child will just fall asleep on the spot if the body is
Yeah.
tired, right? And the older the child will get, then it will go against the body's impulse to fall asleep when the body is tired. Obviously, they are evolving as physical beings and the mind, so they need more sleep, they need more to restitute more, but so do we, especially in these times where the energies are so high. It is really important that we allow our bodies to tell the time, to feel, okay, what is it time for now? What is the need? And that speaks into not time but needs, because that is the concept, as you were speaking about, Catherine. I keep seeing kids in the kindergarten, it is that in that brink that they are being pushed into the form of not feeling their needs. They are being pushed into eating when they're told. They are being pushed into sleep when they're told, to play when they're told, to learn how to sit down and listen. And right now it feels like torture. Yeah, it feels like torture that those little bodies are pushed down on a chair and just sit still, when every scientist that has examined the brain knows that the brain will evolve when you're using your body, when you're moving. And even today, if you want to train your brain, you are using your fingers to train your brain. And in school, we're asking the children to sit still and listen. Okay?
Yeah.
In the old system, I know that they are learning, the teachers are trying to do it in other ways, but still, it is the old way. Hence, what you said, Anka, of I have a headache today, and I almost didn't want to come. And also me having this beautiful massage, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can come, but of course I will, because I'll make time.
Yeah.
But that was not what my body wanted. That was not what my body
Mm.
needed. Yeah.
And yet
Yeah.
we're here. Yet we're here.
Yeah,
And then
because
sorry to interrupt you, go.
no, because we are here because we have a mission, right? And sometimes
Mhm.
it requires us to step up and not listen to the body, because we are serving a higher good. But and that is also, what's the balance in that?
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly. There are times where you push a bit, and then you know when to stop and when to recalibrate and when to, yeah, because there are times, for example, when I feel tired in my body, but there's a lot that wants to come through. So I will take the pen and paper, or I will write down, or I will sing, or I will whatever wants to come through, even though I feel it's yeah, it's probably a thing of discernment and presence and not allowing ourselves to be swept in. So we reach the burnout phase. So we reach the I cannot anymore phase. Um, because let's be real, like for this little example here with us today, this is also pleasurable. This is also nourishing. If it wasn't, I would have said no. I would have said, I have a headache. I'm not here today. I can't do it. But since I know it's a nourishing space and it's a space where I can fully be myself and it's a space where there's no constriction, then it's like, okay, it's a tiny headache. I'll just be present. I'll see where this takes us. I don't need to perform or to be somehow or to do something. So that's why it's like it's about discernment and how you feel. Is this a contribution or does it take away from me?
Yeah, and sometimes the headache serves a purpose, right? And I think we all know this as a healer. When you're with a client, then you will merge with the energy, and you will feel the hurt in the stomach, because your client has a hurt in the stomach, right? So the body is also a timeless instrument in order to mix the energies for the highest good of all, in order to help other people. So yeah, that's interesting. The body is time.
Body is time. The body is rhythm. And becoming you is becoming time.
Exactly.
And I like also the phrase of conception of time. And I actually feel like there's something else that wants to come through here. One is that we know, working with energy, we know when the energy supports us, even though we feel a bit off. We know, because we've tuned in already. Can I do this? Am I capable of being here? Is it important? And is it beneficial, to me too? Like you say, does it give or does it take, right? So being conscious of that, and not just run with, oh, we have an appointment, we have a deal, we have if it's out of alignment, it's out of alignment. But and I shared also that I've been coughing most of the night and had weird dreams and the morning purging. So we've all been in this kind of whoa energy. Uh,
Yeah.
so there is a theme from this too, right? And
Mm.
and another thing that I want to bring through is also that when light language activated for me back in 2020, my guides told me, because I asked about light language, what does it do? And it creates a field across time and space that we can reach into and actually retrieve information from ancient times and from future through the light language in present time. So it creates like a vacuum or something, a field where everything is accessible. So 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 light language is how can I, okay, hang on. Light language is timeless yet present.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when we become who we are, we become timeless too and present.
And we do not understand that with our mind.
No,
We understand it with our heart.
our body, I can feel it in my cells.
Mm-hmm. 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 For me, it's also shortening. Light language, it's so potent and carries so much code that it facilitates something in 5 minutes or in 2 minutes that otherwise would probably be facilitated in hours or weeks or whatever. It's kind of like a shortening, if we speak in terms of like therapy or healing or stuff like that. It feels like when either I don't have words for it, or it needs to be done with now, or it's something that is too big, too heavy across timelines for just conventional stuff, then light language comes through and it does the work in a minute. And it feels like it took away like years and lifetimes of heaviness, maybe, or it dislocated something inwards that makes space and makes you feel better and in just a few minutes, or it touches and unlocks at a soul level. I remember some women letting me know after listening to and receiving the light language, one of them said it brought me in the same space with my ancestors, and I could see every one of them for the first time in my life and receive wisdom from there, just by receiving light language, something that I don't even understand. It unlocks at a cellular level, at a soul level, and it touches in a way that's so deep that heals and activates and facilitates and across dimensions and timelines that's not relevant for light language.
Yep. And if we think about it, we've hardly spoken any light language in this conversation.
Yeah.
You opened with a little bit of light language, Dortier, and it opened this whole thing. Right? But I do feel that something is coming through, because I feel like dizzy. I feel like the energy is working and there's something going on here. So let's see what it is. I don't know if you how you are feeling. Kimartu shumsitna aneke makindan urudumak dantadurumakana. Moya kinesidu uturuma hane tini tanako.
Kianaku.
Ashti tankutuma eya atana king tuswe tartuma. Yemia kur hurman ininia wunga ngutu sunzai kan hiamai waku to daya katarata. I just hear, don't fight time.
I just feel that you made space, spaciousness. It's like you opened. Now I realize it was a bit constricted, and then now after this, it's spaciousness.
Yeah, I felt like something was.
So don't fight time, don't fight you.
Haha.
Mhm.
Become your rhythm.
Mm.
Don't understand time, understand your rhythm.
Mhm.
Yet again, the message: come back to yourself.
That rippled. Gionu bash enkur. Gionu esta sekariana nakush tessa. Hitoru e shidara nakata shihatase. Kariana nakush ari duish arana. Okay. Somebody is very, very pleased with us, and we get a gold star.
Okay. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, of course, receiving. Oh my gosh, yes.
Thank you.
Receiving that gold star, receiving that praise, receiving that abundance of support, women. Karyatashia, karyatashia. You are allowed to receive, you are allowed to open, you are allowed to get whatever the universe has in store for you.
Okay.
Do not fight time, do not fight you, just receive whatever comes your way. Open your heart, feel that smile in your heart, feel that love in your heart. You are receiving. That would be Mama Earth. Mm.
Being shown spirals of time, and I'm being taken back also to a channeling about time and our timelines, the timeline that we are walking on. That when we walk on it and look down, we can see sometimes that it has cracks, or it's kind of wobbly or broken if you imagine yourself walking on a spiral. So it can have little cracks. But when we look around into the quantum field, into the void, there are other spirals, other timelines, and that represent choices that we have made, choices that created those cracks in the timeline that we're walking on, our trajectory. So yes, we can jump timelines, but we can also repair the one that we are on by simply seeing where those cracks are. And then in the energy we can if we know that we made some choices, there are never wrong choices, but some choices that we made that didn't turn out beneficial to us, and when we doubted ourselves, maybe we took longer to make that choice. Again, time. We will we took a long time to make a certain choice, which created what I'm being shown is that these gaps in the timeline, we may be walking on the right timeline, but we just created gaps and cracks. So by seeing those, just stop. Yeah, take the break, as you said in the beginning, Anka. Slow down. Have a look at the timeline you're walking on. You may be on the exact one. You don't need to jump to another timeline, make a big leap. You may be on the leap, but you just made little cracks on it. So it feels wobbly. Your nervous system feels wobbly. Everything feels wobbly because maybe it took a little longer. Or it took a little longer for you, your patience got impatient. So if you look around in the void, in the quantum field, and you just connect with those choices that you made, those timelines, those little, they're kind of little bits and pieces that can come, that you can invite into your timeline and simply repair it so that it feels stronger, less wobbly to walk on. I don't know if this resonates with you, but that's what I'm being shown, that we can repair a lot energetically, even though we have made, to us, wrong choices or would have done differently had we known now.
Because we were stopped by fear.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep. Kurumia adanya konoso sayara tinahene ma konata. Maknita yashuntu raktina nanama. I invite you to feel your throat, and especially just below the larynx. It's kind of soft here if you place a few fingers, and just allow yourself to connect to this space in your body. Maybe automatically your neck stretches a little bit. And you breathe and you feel. What does time whisper to you that you may be afraid to hear? And what does your rhythm whisper in return that you may be afraid to hear? Time and rhythm do go hand in hand when there is no fear. But fear is normal. Fear is normal. Become friends with your fear and find the courage. Become friends with your fear and find the courage. Become friends with the fear and find the courage. What does time whisper? What does your rhythm whisper in return? Shira kanhaya ne utumashi, kananana aratina ka chishuku. Ai katera yana marutore. Hum, dear child, hum. Feel your voice, calm your mind, calm the fear.
I just want to go to sleep now.
Yes. So I think we're reaching the end of this episode. This conversation about time.
Let it ripple.
Sorry?
Let it ripple.
Let it ripple. Yeah. Creation of time, with time, in time, and on time.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Every time.
Every time.
All time.
I like that word.
Oh.
Time. Yeah.
Yes. 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 Eternity translates into human time when you are present. Eternity translates into human time when you are present.
As human time is you.
Exactly.
You are in eternity. And that is why the infinite, the loop, you are the 0 point.
And the center of the circle.
Pardon?
And the center of the circle.
Yeah.
And the sphere.
Yeah. As the torus of our energy looks like this infinity symbol. So when we are able to step into that, you got the infinity. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And oh my God, it's just keep unrolling because, your brain, left and right, they work together, and the 0 point of your brain, where the divine will come down. This is where the circuits meets. This is where you are. This is the time. Your left and your right in your body, your left and your right lung, your left and your right arm, your left and your right legs. You are the 0 point. And this is why it is important to feel the body and to connect with the body, not just work with the spirit, not just work with the energy. Because if you just do that, you are not here, you are not present on earth. You're not present on earth. And that is why you are here and not in space. You are on earth. And your body is you. Not all of you, but it is you. Okay.
And the perineum, when you look at the muscles, like an anatomy drawing of the perineum, it's also an 8 with a little string.
The first energy sensor.
Exactly. So, yeah, we can keep on and on and on. So let's see where this takes us next.
Okay.
Time.
Good times.
Yeah, invitation to your own rhythm. Yeah. Maybe discover what that is.
Explore.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
And see you next time.
As we conclude, take a moment to return your attention to your body and your surroundings.
Resonates, keep. What does not, release.
Nothing shared here binds you, defines you, or directs you. Your perspective, your interpretation, and your choices remain your own.
Thank you for listening consciously.
And we're looking forward to connecting with you again.
And we are inviting you to join our community on Telegram. Please find the link below.